So, hello everybody. Today we are going to be deep diving into the first episode of Komi Can't Communicate, one of the most anticipated and hyped up animes of the current season. And since the episode just dropped literally not that long ago, we're going to review the first episode. So, without further ado, of course, this is me giving you your obligatory spoiler warning because there will be spoilers and I'll be reviewing the whole entire episode. And if anyone gives me, crap about whether or not I'm caught up with the anime, I've only read, one volume of manga, so I am anime only. So there have been your obligatory warnings. So without further ado, let's get into the episode. So it starts off with a simple look at life as people are going throughout the day, and it turns out that this is Komi, who is coming and walking down the street, and she shows up, and let me just say straight off the bat, the animation and the music is, as beautiful as Komi is. Everyone who is around Komi can't help but look at her with shock and awe. They think she is the most beautiful thing since sliced bread. We then get to see her try to pet a cat, but the cat runs away as we get an introduction to Itana Private High School, which is this elite school where not everyone can get in. And this is more importantly where we meet our second character, Tadano, who his main goal, in his own words, is to read the situation and pass high school without getting into any sort of trouble. Which is, if you know high school, it's probably not the most reasonable goal in the world. As he is getting changed and with his shoes, we then get to meet the titular Komi, and he's instantly blown away by her beauty because everyone is at this school. We then get the comedy that this show is gonna go for and that the manga does so well, and it's the fact that Komi can't communicate. So she just looks, they just awkwardly look at each other as she quickly runs past Tadano. Tadano goes to class, and he's just chilling, and then it turns out that he's gonna be sitting right next to her. And well, it turns out that he is already making enemies really fast just by him being able to sit next to her. Everyone else, they're fawning over her, but there are some others that are just envious as all hell that he has the right to sit next to her. A nobody sitting next to this, Japanese goddess. Now it comes to the time where everyone is supposed to do their class greeting. And, well, of course, now it is Komi's turn. As everyone looks in on her, looks at her, she goes to write her name, and she does it in the most flamboyant style that I can only compare it to something like JoJo's animation. And she sits down, and everyone is celebrating and thinking she is so just the coolest person on earth. And after a few awkward interactions with each other, with Tadano and Komi, one day Tadano wakes up in class next to Komi as he hears her meow. He says he doesn't hear anything, and she bolts. She bolts and leaves, and he realizes he can't let that happen as he asks her if she's not good at talking to people, which completely stops her from running out the door. He understands that she can't, communicate, so as he asks another question, he realizes that she can't really answer it, and then they get the idea to, start writing down what she has to say on the chalkboard in the classroom. He asks her if anyone has ever noticed, her being shy / non-talkative, and she replies that nobody has ever noticed. Tadano then gets really awkward and leaves, or attempts to leave, because he thinks that they've run out of things to talk about, but Komi stops him dead in his tracks, and she tells him all about how she feels and why she can't really talk to people. At one point during this emotional, outpour of her backstory and how lonely she's been throughout all of this, it sounds like Komi is about to cry. And he realizes that, and he goes to give her a handkerchief so she could cry into, but it turns out she's not really crying, she just has the hiccups. And the comedy in this is, just by her not being able to speak, sets up so many great jokes, and the comedy is truly phenomenal and well done throughout the entirety of this episode. Komi then apologizes because she feels as though she's just being a nuisance, and says that, that everything that she said was complete nonsense, and she starts wiping off the whole entire, chalkboard. And as she begins to leave, that's when Tadano starts writing on the board as well. The two begin to talk to each other through writing on the chalkboard, and as you can see that their friendship between the two of them really starts to take shape and form here, and it's done really well. The music is freaking phenomenal. It's honestly just a really touching moment of them being friends with each other. It's here that we see that her goal is to make over 100 friends. And Tadano writes on the board, and he says that he'll help her get the other 99 friends. She then leaves, bolts out the door, as Tadano says that he is changing his original goal to read the room and to, not, go through high school without any trouble, to helping Komi get those 99 friends. And she's right outside, and she's just listening to everything that he is saying. And it's honestly just, this whole thing is really, really touching. After the amazing OP, we then get to see what happens the next day, as people again are fawning over her. She's this amazing Japanese goddess that people can't take their eyes off of. And, after Tadano says hello to her, and a few awkward moments of silence, she tries to say hello, but she just can't. As the two of them are walking, Tadano, he says, hey, we're gonna help you with your communication skills so you can make 100 friends. And the narrator tells us that it's not gonna be easy at this school whatsoever to make over 100 friends. Komi takes a deep breath and looks like she's about to say something, and of course that's when the credits roll. Of course that's when they roll. We then get an after credits scene of, Tadano reading out loud about how this girl is beautiful and she's like amazing in this book, and after he's done, Komi gets asked to read out loud. Of course, she doesn't say anything, and the teacher says that, yes, I understand what Komi is trying to say here, and she says that he wants everyone to just read in silence for the rest of class. And that is where the first episode of Komi Can't Communicate ends. Overall, this first episode is completely phenomenal, amazing. I love the artwork. I've read only the first volume of manga, and it's honestly just like they captured the spirit down precisely in the first volume of manga that I read, and it's just, I freaking love it. This is truly, it's just freaking awesome. The comedy, the art style, the music, it's just so touching and it's so great. And I honestly can't wait to see what they do next in the following episodes. So do me a favor, let me know what you guys think and you thought about the first episode of Komi Can't Communicate. Make sure you guys hit that like, share, and subscribe button. I've been Samuel V, aka Excellent Anime Reviews, and I will see you all as soon as I can.